In this class, I shall be talking extensively on how to create 3D logos. We shall be using Pixellab. After installation, click on the app. It brings you to this page. This is the interface for the app. The first thing you have to take note of on this app is the background, then the text and object. So I will be talking about them individually. First of all, the background. The background which you choose affects any other thing you do on this app. For example, this is the icon for the app down here. I call this the menu bar. This bar is very essential in this app and you'll be working a lot with it. A lot of things you'll be doing will involve on this app. The most essential part of this app is this menu bar down here. To the left, you have these 3 circles. It represents the background. You have several backgrounds here you can choose from, and choosing one of them, you can't change to another one. If you are going to change to another one, it will tell you that you are going to lose every other work you've done on the background you were working on before. So you have to choose it carefully. Although it's not compulsory you choose any of them, you can just go with this default. It's not compulsory you choose any of them. You can just go with this default and change the color. So it's not compulsory you choose any of these backgrounds, but you must be careful about what you are doing with them. So after that, we have this background option. Here you have the color. I'll be very fast in this training because I have a lot of options to talk about and because of time. So first of all, you have the color. You can change the color. Click on the color. This is the color. You can change the color here. And take note, this is for the background, not the text or the object. You can change it. So the first thing you have to know is that before designing anything, creating a logo, you have to have drafted something out that you want to do. You cannot just come on the app and start doing one thing or the other. You won't be focused. After designing on paper, then you can come on the app and start designing. For example, you should have decided what you want to use as your background, the color, how you want it to be. So that will help your design. So if I want to use blue, I can choose blue here. And if I want it to be of 2 colors, I can choose this gradient. So I have black to white. This one is from top to bottom. The gradient from left to right. Then this is yellow to blue, green at the middle. So depending on what you want to use. So choose any of them. I choose blue. Good. After that, I can choose this. For if I want the background to be transparent, I just want the text or the objects to be seen, not the background. I can choose this option. You won't see anything. So, but I don't want that for now. So that's the option. That's the work of the transparency. This transparent option here. Then the image size. This option is very important because sometimes you might be working. Your work will depend on what you are working on. Be it a business card, be it different things, all the platform you will be uploading it, you will be using it. Is it on YouTube, Facebook, status, on your DP, depending on whatsoever it is, that will inform you on what you will do. So right now I want to use square. Okay. The next option is the image option. Here you can choose any of the options that is on this app. You see these options. You can choose any of them that you feel like using. So, and from gallery, if you have an image in mind you want to use as your background, you can choose on this. And from camera, if you want to snap something and use it, you use this. Then the next for the background is this, the background effect. There are some effects you can give your background. You can rotate it. For example, if you have a rectangular shape here as your workspace or as a background, and you want to tilt it, you want it to be north to south. Okay, let me explain what I mean by that. For example, here image. Here we chose square, so let's just choose something rectangular. Let me adjust this to 1000 to just give it that feel. Okay, no, let me still adjust it a little. Let me put this at 700. Good. Can you see? We now have a rectangle. Good. So let me go back to this background effect. Good. Here, if I am to rotate it, you see what happens? Can you see? Can you see? So that's what it does. And this vignette, it gives it a sort of background. There are some effects that before you use it, you have to enable it. It will bring it up for you. So you just have to click on it. Can you see? So that's what you have here. Can you see? If you want to use it, you can just choose any of them and use it for your design. So I'm offing it now. Then the next one is noise. If you want a background like this, a sort of pattern texture for your background, you can use this. You can increase it. Can increase it here. Can increase it. Can reduce it. Enhance it. Can you see? Can you see what's happening? So that's what it does. Then the next one is stripes. You want stripe. That's it. Then brightness. You want to increase the brightness. Then contrast. Then the hue. You want to adjust the hue. So easily you can do it here. So hue is the original color, and here in this app 0 is the original color. But if you want to adjust it, but I mean the shade or the tint, you want to use the shade of red, shade of blue, tint of red, then you can adjust the hue to achieve that. So the next one here is saturation. Do you want to saturation means how bright you want the color to be. For example, let me increase it for you to see. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Let me use red to illustrate my. For me to adjust the color, I will have to go back to where? To background options here. Go to color, then let me adjust it to red for you to see. I want to show you a particular effect. Then I go back to background effect here, then click on that saturation. Good. Can you see? Can you see what's happening? Can you see how thick it is? Can you see how thick it is? How bright it is? So that's the work of saturation. So depending on what you want, and you can, instead of using your hand, if you are trying to achieve a particular figure here, like 10, and your hand is just trying to go by it, you can use these options here to adjust it. 10, just put that 10. That's good. That's awesome. So that's that about the background. Then let's move to text. Good. There are different ways, there are different ways for you to input text on this app, on this interface. First of all, you can click on this in the menu bar. I told you the most important part of this app is this menu bar down here. Then text option is this A. When you click on it, you have this option, text and quote. Text means you want to insert text, and quote means you want to insert quote. And there are some quotes on this app you can use. I've clicked on quotes. Can you see? So that's quotes for you. Then text. So it automatically, as long as you click on that, it brings up text, and where it will show is the top left corner of this workspace. That's where the text will show. Then another way you can work on it is text is this plus icon up here to the left hand and top corner. So is this. Then click on it, you can see. Can you see text here? That's text for you. Good. I'll be talking about the others later. So that's text for you. You can input text there also. But if you input text, you won't be able. Okay, let me show you as an example. Okay, so this is text. After clicking on text, you have to start working. you have to start working on it. You have to start adjusting it, editing it the way you want. Easily, you cannot just leave it like that. You might want a font that you want to change it to. These options here, I call this the property bar. This property bar helps. In what way? It helps you to adjust your text in whatsoever way you want. Another way to work on this text is by clicking on the text itself. I told you it's 3 ways. First of all, by clicking the hair icon here and clicking this, you have text. Another one is going up here and clicking text. And the third one is, for example, you have the text on your workspace already and you want to work on it. For example, you were working on something else and you want to start working on text, you can click on the text itself and these options come up. So those are the 3 ways. Then these options are what you'll be using to manipulate your text. To the left, you have the styles. Browse. Do you have any style here that you love? You can just click it and use it. Then this is my styles by the right. It means sometimes if you've been using this app for some time, you might have a font that you love. So on this app, you have the opportunity of saving it and you can be able to access it here easily. So when you click on text, these are the options that comes up. So you can click on this, then save. If you have an option in mind, if you have a font in mind that you want to save, you can just select it, then go here, then save it. Then automatically it will save, and from then on you will start seeing it. Then the next one is edit. Edit here will help you to be able to edit it, put in whatsoever you want to put. For example, training, good. Then that's the work option. You can adjust it, put as many things as you want. Then the next one is delete. If you want to delete, copy, to duplicate, to the front, to the back. Yeah, if you have two words on top of each other, you want to bring one in front of the other, you use it, to the back, to use this. Then position, I've told you about it also. You want to move to the left, to the right. Then this helps to know the amount of distance you want. By increasing it, just one click, we make it jumps a wider distance than if, for example, you are using these two pixels here. Can you see? It's just moving little by little. So that's just the work of this position. The relative position helps you to quickly move your text to wherever you want. Instead of that position that you have to be moving as if little by little, instead of that, you can just click on this and just jump to the left, to the right, to the middle, then up, then down, then to the middle. So can you just see? That's the work. Then size, to adjust the size. Then padding. I've told you about padding before. Padding, this is text. This is text box. When you use padding, it allows you to shift the text for this left padding to the right, for the right padding to the left. So let me just adjust and put it back to 0 as it was before. Good. Then color. If you want to adjust the color, I want to use blue. So whatever color I want to use, I can easily do it here and just choose it. So if I want gradient for it, always know that anytime you are using color, you have the option of choosing color or gradient. Gradient allows you to choose two colors, to use two colors, whereas color is just a single color. So after that, you have texture. Texture allows you to bring in a pattern for your text. Okay, let me adjust this font to show that very well. Okay, let me adjust the font. There are some font that doesn't show your effect because of the way they are. So you have to change it. For example, I have this good. So let me go to, remember we are talking about text and their properties. Good. So we've spoken about all this. We are now at texture. You click on texture, you click on this to bring it up from your phone. Before you can do this, you would have downloaded it on your phone. So let me click on this and just use this. Good. So here, if you have a part that you don't like, you don't want it to be shown on the logo, you can just edit it, cut it away, use this. Okay, good. Edit it, cut it away. No, different options, depending on what you want. Then these options is to rotate it. Can you see that it's in the x-axis? It's lying horizontally. You can, by rotating it moves vertically. Can you see? Then to resize it, allows you to resize it. Then this gives it a mirror-like transformation. Moves from left to right. Can you see? Observe this. You can see this is here. Then when I click it, it moves here. So this also, can you see where this is? Then again, it moves up. So that's just the job. If you want to exit it, delete it, you click on this. Then, oh, I've deleted it. Let me click on it again. Then, good. Then the next thing is this option, this padlock option. For example, just observe the image. You can see that you have you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nodes here. But when you use the padlock option, it moves to 4. So, for example, as you see it, this node allows you to adjust it. Holding on this node, you can move it like this. Holding on this node, you can move it like this. But when you click on this padlock, you only have 4. You can only move it 4 ways. So that's just the essence of this option. So when you are okay with this image, you click on OK. Then can you see what's happening here? Can you see the training? Can you see that it's showing here? So whatever you want to do for this to show very well, I think I have to change this background. So to change the background, where do I go? I've told you about it. You go to background effects, background options. So you know the difference. This is the background effect, this is the background options. For this kind of thing, where we have to go is background options. So you go here, change the color. So change it to something a little bit cool, good. Can you see now? Now we appreciate the pattern we have. So design is more of thinking. You have to always work with colors, see the one that is better for what you are doing. So before we forget, we were talking about text. So let's not leave text. Now we are on, we've just finished and talking about texture. We are on opacity. Opacity is the degree of transparency. So you want to reduce it, that's the job. If you want to affect shadow, you put that. So then the next one is rotate. You want to adjust it up and down. Can you see? Up and down, good. Then mask. The work of mask is it helps you to remove some parts that you might not want to use in your design. For example, can you see this? Can you see this? So anytime you are using some effect that tells you that you should enable, what you want to do cannot be affected until you enable it. So let's enable it. Can you see what just happened? Can you see? So if you like, you can, if this is what you want for your logo, you can just leave it like this. So depending on what you design. So that's a good option to work on that. So let me remove it. To remove it, I click on disable here and I check it. So the next one is fonts. You are able to change your font here. This is the font that comes with the app. Then the next one is my fonts. These are the fonts that I've downloaded myself. So there are a lot of websites where you can download fonts that you might like. So I will send some links to you on the group so that you can go to the website and just download the font you like. After downloading it on your phone, this is where you can add it. You have the option of adding it here. Go here, check for where you downloaded it on your phone and just add it. That's all. It's as simple as that. So the next option after fonts is style. You want it to be bolding, italicized, underlined, different options, anyone you want. So you can put it there. Then curve. For curve, let me use this. Let me use this smaller text. Curve helps you to just, can you see? Can you see? Take for example, you have a circle on top. You can just put this to align beneath it, and you can also put it on top of it. So let me just show you how to do that. So good, can you see? That's just that about it. Let me off it. Good. So you must be careful too. I want to return it back now. Good. So it's back. So that's align. So to the left, this left alignment, center alignment, to the right, that's that. So how you want to justify? No, it's not here. And not justify, just click on this and it will justify it. For example, you have a group of words and you want to justify it. Just make everything fill the space. That's what you do. To the right, this, to the center, then to the left. Then the last one is spacing. When you increase it, can you see the space between the characters gets widened? So let me just put it back. So if you want to give that effect, that's what you use to do that. So the next one is line spacing. For the height, if there are many texts that are arranged together, if you want to increase the space between the text, you do that. Then stroke. Let me use a wider. Let me tell you about this. Anytime you want to edit your text, just double tap on it. Good, it comes up. Let me use a capital letter. Let me just click on text to show you that. I need to be fast. Text. Then I want to work on this option, stroke. Stroke means, I've told you in the last class, stroke means the outline of whatever you are doing, be it shape, be it text. For example, we have this black you are seeing right now is the fill for the text itself, but the stroke is the outline around it. Enable it, you'll see that something is different. Let me disable it for you to notice. You can see that text is just normal, but when I enable it, something happens. Can you see? You can see like a line around the text. Good. That's the outline, that's the stroke. You can increase it. Can you see? Good. You can reduce it, whatever you want. If your logo warrants it, you can put it. So depending on what you want. So the gradient also is still the same thing. So for that's for the stroke, but it can't work. Do you know why it can't work? Let me use color. It can't work because the stroke width is 0. So there's no way it can show. It's like you try to put something on something that is not even there at all. It won't show at all. So if I increase it like this, good. Now can you now imagine? Can you see? So that's about it. So this is for the stroke. So, but I don't want stroke. It's not every time that you might want to use stroke for your work. So let me disable it. So continue. Then shadow gives your text a shadow that you might want. That shadow feel as if light is focusing on the text. When you enable, can you see shadow all around it? Then the next one I want us to talk about is this. After the shadow is emboss. There are some book covers that you see, that you hold, that when you fill the text on top of it, it will seem as if it was imprinted on it. As the bulge, the text will have a kind of bulge on it. So they use emboss for that. And for this app, you can give your text that feeling. So just can you see what's happening? I hope you can see it. Can you see how it's looking now? So let me go back to this emboss. So can you see? You can adjust it. Light angles allows you to choose which angle the light is coming from. with this now, it gives you the idea that the light is coming like this. So, it's going again. So that's emboss. So advanced, you can intensify it. The ambient light, you can increase it, reduce it. The specular hardness, the buffer. So let me just off it. Then perspective. So it allows you to adjust the text. Let me enable it for you to understand what I'm saying. Good. Can you see? So that's what it does. Then 3D rotate. Let me go to 3D test first before rotate for you to appreciate it. Can you see? You have two view type, perspective or oblique. Either of the two. Let me work with perspective. Then you can increase the thickness. You give it a sort of a feel. You can increase it. You reduce the darkness. Then the rotation. You can you see? Can you see? Oh, why? Can you see? That's that about. Then for the Z rotation. So that's for this, that's what you can do. Let me reduce it back to normal. Good. Can you see? I've adjusted everything. So everything is giving me something else now. I want it to be normal. And just put it back to 0. Good. It's back to normal. So for the test, you can see anytime I click on the test, this comes up. So now I want us to talk about 3D rotate. So on the x-axis, you can just rotate your logo. Can you see? Y-axis, you can rotate your logo. Sometimes you see a logo like this. So this is what they do. So depending on what you want to do, that's what gives you the feeling. Good. So it's as simple as that. Then 3D logo. So 3D shadow. Sorry. So it allows you the shadow to increase it, to reduce it. Yes. Then the radius, you can increase the radius, reduce the radius. Then you can expand it, reduce it. Just play around with it. You will get the perfect one for you. Then you can the outer glow, if you want it to have some glow. Can you see? And if you want your text to move to the left or to the right on the x-axis, you can just a little, just play with it and see. For example, if you see a text like this, it might give you an impression that the light is coming from this side. That's the essence of it. So that's the essence of it. So the next thing we shall be talking about for the shadow. Let me just disable it so that you can appreciate the other effects. It's not every time that you use you can't just combine every effect. It's the one that you need that you will use. Good. Then the reflection. So it allows you to give your text a logo, a reflection of what you want. So let me use that reflection on this and see how it will look. That reflection is the last option by the right. So can you see what's happening? So what you can you see that on this it's not beautiful at all. It's not attractive, but on this it's better. As it is now, I can decide to just put a shape around it and perfect it, or a circle around it and perfect it. So it's as simple as that. So let's quickly move to object. So for you to work on object, all you will click on in the menu bar. Remember, you still be working with the menu bar. The first one is what? For the background. Next one is for the text. And remember, anytime you click on any of these things, what you have here changes. The first one is the background. The next one is the text. The next one after is the object. When you click on object in the menu bar, it brings up this. Then, for example, you can choose any of the stickers here. just choose any of them to use. Then you have, if you want to import anything, click on this to import it. Then the next one is to draw. If you want to draw, can you see? If you want to draw anything you want to draw, you can draw it and just save it. Let me cancel it. Then shapes. Yeah, this is where you'll be choosing. Right now it seems you are not seeing anything, and what comes up as default is square. So you can change it here by clicking on this. You change it to whatever you want. A circle. Good, I want a circle, and I have a circle here. Let me bring this up. Before I can bring this up, I will have to deselect this. But before I want to do that, let me just complete this and choose a color for this. Good. So I told you about stroke. That's the outline. So sometimes you might want to just use the fill. Sometimes you want to use the stroke. Sometimes you want to use the two. Right now, I just want to use the stroke and not the fill at all. So what I will do is that I will remove the fill. And for me to do that, I will reduce the opacity. So now let me bring it down to 0. Good. You notice that you are not seeing anything again, but I will now increase the stroke width. Beautiful. So now I have this, and my plan is to put this around this text. So what I will do is, let me change the color of this to something bluish. Good. Let me use this. This is just an example, just for you to see, to put it in perspective. So okay, I've chosen this. Can you notice that I removed the fill here and I left the outline on this? Sometimes you want to use the two, sometimes you want to use the fill and remove the outline. So it's as simple as that. Then I'm okay with this. Then let me bring this here. So for me to bring in this circle, let me reduce the size here. You can quickly reduce size by holding onto this thing, on this toggle here, this button, and just use it to, okay. After doing that, what I'll do next is, let me increase this. Good. Then I'm not yet satisfied. Let me do like this. Let me just, good. So I can decide, let me increase the little. I can decide to leave it like this, or if I'm not okay, I can just change it outrightly to a rectangle. So easily, I'm still on shapes here. I click on this. I can change this to, this circle to a rectangle, or I pick another one outrightly. So picking another one outrightly, I just hold it down then to make sure it covers what I want to do. After doing that, then I have to choose the but remember, I just wanted to use that as a boundary. So what I will do is, I will remove the fill. Told you 0. Good. Next thing I do is the outline. I increase it. Good. As soon as I do that, then I give it a color. You might decide not to give it a color, depending on what you want. So I give it a color, then I check it. Then what I will do is, this other one, I remove it. This circle. Now I've chosen the circle. I remove the circle. Good. Then I put this in. Then can you see it seems this is better than that circle. Good. So I can still increase the width of this outline. So for the sake of training, let me just leave it like this. So that's for shapes. Then the next one is in Bezier. This helps to create curve lines. That's just the work. If you notice in those shapes, they are just regular lines, but if you intend using curve lines, you use this. Let me remove it. Then arrow. You create arrows. If you intend using arrow, this is an option for you to create arrow. You can increase it, reduce it. These are the edges. You can change the edges here. Then for the second edge, you can change it here. Then you can increase the visibility, reduce it. Then the fill color, you know the meaning of fill by now. You can increase the fill, reduce the fill. The stroke also. Do I like this? Do I want stroke? Do I want it to be bold? So increase it, reduce it, remove it, anyone you want. Just do it, give it a color. So there are different options you can choose from. So let me delete that. So for objects, when you click it from menu bar, this is what you have here. But there's something I must tell you. This objects option is not like text, that whatsoever you choose through the menu bar and through the text itself is still the same thing. You observe something right now. Look at this property bar and tell me. I click on, let me click on this. Click on it. Can you see what comes up here? Good. Let me click on the object itself. Can you see what comes up? Good. So that's the difference. For text, it's still the same thing. But for object, when you click on the object itself, you'll be able to choose more options. So clicking on the object, I can edit it here. I can adjust the corners. That's the radius. Can you see? Good. The fill also, you can work on it. The opacity, you remember. The stroke color, the blur radius, you can work on that. Then the next thing is, if you want to delete it outrightly, you can do that. Then the next one is to crop. If you want to crop, for example, I want to work on a part, I can click on this, just work on it. Then the next one is copy, then to the front, to the back, then to position. I've told you about that. Position, the relative position, the relative size. So it allows you to adjust your image based on what you have on your workspace. So after that, we have the color, the texture. I've told you the same process we took to put a pattern on this text. That's the same thing you do on this object. So the next one is, if you want to duplicate, you use copy, then to the front, to the back. If you have two shapes, you can use one of it. If you select the one you want to bring to the front, then click on this, same thing here, then position, relative position, then relative size, color, texture, opacity. Opacity means degree of what? Of transparency. For example, can you see it's working on the outline now? Can you see it's coming up, it's going down? So always know that opacity, color filters, whatsoever you bring. The beauty of this app is that you can edit whatsoever image you bring here. For example, you bring in an image that is red. Let me adjust this color for you to see what I'm saying. Let me adjust this. Let me just adjust this. Okay, right now I want this space to be filled up. So what I will do is that I will increase the opacity. First thing, I will bring in a good color. Good. Then I'm okay now. Good. Then the next thing is, I'm working on what? I'm working on color filters. So if I want to change the color of what I brought in, I can easily change it here. Can you see? Just work with it. Saturation, increase it, brightness. I've told you about saturation before. The brightness, contrast. So just play around with it. Then stroke. I've told you about stroke. That's what? The outline. So eraser. If you want to delete a part of what you are doing, for example, I delete this part. Sometimes you might not want everything on your logo to show, or what you are doing to show. So all the image you brought in to show. So you can just use for example, it might be at the middle. So just use your hand to just maneuver it. So let's see what we've just done. Okay, can you see? This part is gone, this part is gone, and this part is gone. So that's the work of eraser. What else? Mask. I've explained mask to you. Then erase color. If you want to remove color, this is a very, very important option that I must show you. On a particular an important property. Seriously. So what happens is let me do this. For example, I want this. Okay. Say I want to bring in something. This erase color helps you. What it does ordinarily is that if you have an image, you want to delete a part of it. I don't want to bring in an image because of time. It will take more time. So what will happen is this. Here, if you have an image and you want to remove the background, what you just do is that if you have a plain background, you can reduce the tolerance, increase the tolerance. What tolerance does is that if you increase it like this, everything that if you want to remove red, everything that looks like red, even pink, will be deleted. But if you reduce it, only red will be deleted. And you can use this to just pick on it. Okay, let me do this. If I pick on this, can you see I picked on this color? Click OK. Can you see what happens? Everything is gone. Do you know why? Because everything on this page is still the same color. But if I have a little red on this page, only this color will go. So that's the beauty about this option. Sometimes you bring in an image you want to use, and you don't like the background that's there, you want to remove it, just use this option and voila, it's gone. So good. That's raise color. You want to rotate, you can use this to 3D rotate also. So quickly, let me go to this top bar. So top bar is basically shortcuts. For example, let me click on this. Good. Got this plus here, top left corner is a shortcut. You can click on test, current day, sticker, shapes from gallery, draw. Instead of you going through all these options, menu bar, this, you can just click on this and bring in your test. So it's as simple as that. But the mistake you must be careful about is that when you click on it, the thing is this: when you click on it, this property bar won't change. You won't be able to do anything there. You will have to manually change it from here. You know that on a normal day, if you click on text, this will come up. But if you use the shortcut, it won't come up. So you have to use that, because you might be wondering where are the options. So that's that. The shapes from gallery, draw, that's the shortcut. Then anytime you are working on anything, so this might come up. This is for editing, this is for deleting. So for you to save, you click on this first option, save as object. If you are yet to complete it, but you have to go somewhere, do something else, you can just save it as object project. It will save on this app and you can later work on it. But if you want to bring it out immediately as image, you can click on this. So the next one is same thing. If you want to bring it out as image, you can click on this. You can see that share icon. You can quickly share it before moving to your phone, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anyone. Then image formats, JPEG, PNG, then the width, the height, then save to gallery if you want to do that, or share. So you can see the option. Then this is for the quotation I told you about the other time. Then this icon brings out some options. They are self-explanatory. You can go through them. Then if you made a mistake and you're working on something, you can click on this. It will take you back to the last thing you did. So that's that. Then to zoom, if you want to look closely at something, you can just click on this zoom, and your thumb, you put it on your screen and you draw it apart. See, you get there. The maximum level is this 500%. After that, you have to go back. So when you are done, go back, bring your thumbs together, then click on this to deselect it. Then if you are working on something accurate, you need an accurate output, you can use this grid option to help yourself to arrange things for yourself. Use the grid option. Use the grid option to arrange it for yourself. Then the next one is this icon. I love it because it helps me a lot. For example, this is the layer icon. Click on it. I have every object, every text I have on the workspace individually. I can decide to delete any one of them. I can decide to make any of them invisible, still there. For example, let me work on this rectangle. I can make it invisible. Can you see? You can no longer see it here, but it's still there. So it's because I clicked on this. So can you see? You can lock it if you want to work on other things and you don't want it to move about, because sometimes you might be working and it might be moving from where you intended it to be. So just lock it and move with other things. So when you are through, you can just unlock it and do whatever you want to do. This is the edit option and delete option. So that's everything about this. And if you want to close it, click on it, click on this, and you are back to workspace. So this is everything you have for this app. I will enjoy you to make sure you watch this video twice, 3 times. When you understand it, try to just produce a simple logo. Just try to see a logo and just produce it with this app. Thank you so much. We've come to the end of the class.